Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and today we're going to be doing more Torghast pushing. We're going to be using a priest, buff priest in particular, to show you guys some of the more wacky builds. Really, I'm kind of sad that rogues don't really have anything crazy. It only works to be super crazy if you have group stuff, but when group stuff happens, it's really difficult to keep track of all the different powers. So going for small groups I think is going to be better. We are going to try to see what we might be able to land on Outlaw, but if that does not work, if anything, you guys might be able to see either incredibly big reflects on shields from the priest, or literally watching the priest one shot. So that should be kind of fun. Diving into layer 4 to see what we get. Layer 4 is going to give us a toy, Helm of the Dominated, which lets us don the, I guess, the appearance of one of the jailer's minions, which should be kind of cool. Buff has already done full layer 8 stuff, and I'm still going to be doing layer stuff over time. I just didn't want to grind through it and ruin the Torghast experience. I decided that for Torghast, I'd rather just do the layers little by little. Record my goes as well as different builds. Off the bat, we get distracting charges, very good ability, we're gonna roll with it. And for him, we have a buff where every single word gives him extra stats, so that should be pretty good. I guess I should also show you guys the talent build we're going for. I'm going for Outlaw, my Mythic Plus build. Quick Draw, Acrobatic Strike, Shoot Death, Alacrity, Blade Rush, all those things are standard. What's different, however, we got ourselves a Vigor for the chance to use defensives while using offensive abilities. Technically, Deeper Strat is better. For Mythic Pluses, you could go Mark for Death for more damage, but a lot of rogues go for Vigor, I think because it's easier to play with. But what I like about Vigor is the ability for me to do damage, and if I ever need to, let's say, pop a defensive like Feint in between of my rotation, I don't have to really worry about the energy regen issues I would have with Deeper Strat. Finally, Dirty Tricks, because, well, getting gouges on enemies in Mythic Pluses is super useful. It gives us an extra CC since we no longer have that stun between the eyes. So that's the build we're going to be going for. Trying to go for a very kind of slow and steady build, and that's a lot of mobs here. Oh, he's just pulling the world. I guess he is a disc priest, so it's not that bad. Let's just focus on one singular enemy. Another thing to mention is in Torghast we do have different torments. This torment for this first run of the first few floors is going to be a torment called Breath of Cold Heart, which makes enemies' health increase every time we ascend a level. These torments stay, and sometimes you'll go for, let's say, a triple Cold Heart, Breath of Cold Heart torment stacks, and that's just the unluck you get. Other times you'll go for a little bit of Cold Heart, a little bit of other floors, and a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So that's going to be kind of the different runs and different possibilities that you can get in Torghast. Every single time you run Torghast is a slightly different experience, which I think makes it just a little bit more fun, particularly the builds that you can get from the different abilities. Speaking about different abilities, I think we're going to go with Lightning Dust. That one just ends up being very consistent. It procs quite often, and the damage it does is quite good. You'll see a lightning bolt kind of shoot up from the sky on enemies. That does a lot of damage, so hopefully we'll get ourselves some kind of a nice setup going forward when it comes to our powers in here. Next power, we can either go for Orbital Replenishment or Refilling Elixir of Life. We're gonna go with the Orb because that can be used in groups. Elixir is more of a solo thing. Buff is playing a healer as a priest, so I don't think we're gonna have any issues on the healing department. But if I wanted to choose, let's say, something useful for the group or something useful just for ourselves, I'd probably end up going with the orbs for the group content. First floorboards down. What do we get? We get Dispatch doing more damage. I think we have to go with the damage. Dispatch, maybe for a future finisher setup, we might be able to get something good. I don't really have any build in mind right now in terms of what I would like to see, but there are definitely some ideas that I've had last week in terms of what you could possibly put together in Torghast. There's a couple different builds. Either one, go for a big finisher build. Oh my god. With the last step, I believe it was. I believe the buff is called the last step, one of those powers. Then there's a build that is all about your combo point generators. Buffing the damage of your Sinister Strikes, pistol shots, and not really going for finishers. Which may seem like it makes no sense. You kind of wanted to use finishers as a rogue. It Outlaw gives you a lot of cooldown reduction. But I don't want to make maybe a possible build of just big Sinister Strikes, roll into a Weapon Master. I think that would be really cool. Definitely would be a neat build to try at some point. Next ability we get is Restless Onyx Geode, so we do get the grapple ability either way, which is a good defensive. Now we also get a power of Haste or Soul Remnants. We're gonna go with the Haste buff. Next power we get is gonna be abilities cool down faster, but your physical damage is reduced. This would be so fun to try, but I know I'm just gonna gain so little value. Oh, my damage is physical. I wonder if you... I guess bleed would count as a physical damage, wouldn't it? I guess if you were to play Assassination, the nature damage with poisons would be good enough, and cooldown reduction on constant vendettas I think also could be really good. The next ability at the vendor, we can either go for Leech, Flagellation, constantly ticking on its own, which I think we're gonna go for that. Really good combo for event tier, just makes it that much easier to use the ability. First of the anima powers we can do here is I think movement speed impairing, not necessary, so I think we're gonna go with Phantasma, just because I feel like with the healer it's not gonna be any kind of issue. Silent foot pads is kind of nice, but I think we'll pick up at least Last Blade, I guess silent foot pads for that opener damage, and let's go for red ink. We're going for as much damage as possible. Next ability we get is more lightning dust, or your blinded sap target software. You're never gonna end up pulling this off in a group unless you know what you're doing, so we're gonna go for more lightning dust. Lightning dust is never bad, especially if it procs as often as it does, and if it crits, oh, the damage it can do is going to be nuts. Next power we get is either going to be prolonged pain, increase the duration of flagellation, haste by 200, the storm cycle paradot, which on nature damage is a chance to apply the strong nature dot that lasts forever on a target. We gotta go with a nature dot. I don't think it counts as a poison, so red ink I don't think can also make it do more damage, because this only works from lethal poisons to 30% more damage in your poisons and bleeds. So that's no synergy there, but still really good ability I think out of all of them, especially when you get it on a boss. Maybe you're running this as a rogue solo, you feel like you're going to be, you know, on the boss for quite a bit, maybe even up to 10 stacks. So having that ticking damage from the get-go definitely helps. Oh, next power we get is Yal Shear's Power Glove. Definitely a good pickup on the melee with Shadowlands armaments. That's the one that I wanted to stack. Oh my god, we have so much haste. 191 haste with a proc, with a stack, with flagellation, and with PI. Dude, that's so fast in auto attacks. Just way too many autos. Next ability we can go for is either Dirty Tricks, which will give us more CC capability like Kidney Shot. I think we are gonna go with Silent Foot Pads though, just so we can have some kind of damage. Maybe we can go for a Vanish Reset. Please have jars. Yes, 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 I know. I'll give you all the jars. All right, the vendor room, and the boss is a DK speaker. Big slug with, I believe, armor. Let's actually wait and see what we get out of our freebie. Basically freebie cell. We can go for vigor and gain deeper strat, which is not a terrible idea. I'm actually gonna go for both because that's gonna be my biggest increase. More Phantasma earned. I don't know if we can actually buy everything here. It looks like you don't really get a lot of good stuff, so let's go for the Earn Phantasma because we don't really need more health. And I guess more Phantasma just so we can buy, oh, one more. And ooh, I kind of want to go with a grapple. We might be able to get the legendary or epic power with grapple, picking up crit crit chance, and I think health, just so we have a bigger health pool to deal with things. And let's pick up one Ravenous Anima cell. This can be used to turn a non-elite target into a cell, which can give you some unique powers, but nothing crazy. Pretty good. We actually had him do a lot of smites. Wow, he actually does a lot of damage. And we had our Distracting Charges do a portion of it. The Power Glove comes into play. Dispatch is doing work. And, ooh, Dance and Steel, Muffled Metronome, or Jack of All Trades. I think we've done Jack of All Trades so much, but it's such a good and a consistent option that we have to play it. Jack of All Trades is way too good. And it synergizes with our legendary, which gives us a chance to gain Adrenaline Rush from Slice and Dice, which is also really good. And basically every time we gain Adrenaline Rush with that Slice and Dice legendary, we gain the full value of Jack of All Trades as well, which makes it kind of nuts. Oh my god, my AoE out of nowhere. What is going on? Whoa, 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 whoa. What is this? All of a sudden, somebody is doing a lot of damage, and oh, the Power Glove. So Power Glove looks like it benefits from every time you Blade Flurry something. So it probably builds up very, very quickly. So crit damage, I think, is going to be a must-have for this build. Then Shadowlands armaments. We're starting to have this thing hit for 1,400. That's pretty good. If we can get a few more stacks of that, I think we could go for a full slicing, dicing, zero finishers build, except for maybe like on and off like slice and dice, or making sure between the eyes is on the enemy. I think we could actually make something cool out of it, especially when they end up rolling broadsides for all our abilities to do even more damage. This could be really cool. So we have a couple different builds that we might be able to get. The knight is still young, and there's still a lot of powers we could pick up in order to make something work here. Next we have from the chest is more damage to dispatch. We gotta go with invigorating shadow dust. If we are somehow trying to make the build of, you know, slicing and dicing our foes, we probably don't want to be using finishers. So investing damage into finishers is probably not a good idea. So let's see if we can do this here. It's going to continue using pistol shots, sinister strikes while Blade Flurry is active. Blade Flurry is going to fall off though, so setting it up is kind of tough in AoE, I think, but maybe the damage is still worth. And from the vendor, we can pick up Last Blade. I think we go for more Last Blades. Yeah, and I think we go for Unceasing Chain. I don't know if we'll be able to make some kind of a build where we're literally just hit Sinister Strike as well as pistol shots. I guess we can go for the Morats for clears, more dispatch damage. Well, I think this is securing us a dispatch build. Pick up more haste, and I guess we save the rest of them. 8,500 int at the moment. Okay, well, I have 1,900 agility, so I think we already know who is the leader of this show. It's definitely not me. That wasn't that bad. My priest is doing more damage than I am. Potent acid gland. What? Oh, he got a lot of procs, or he just... Wait, did he get a lot of procs? 4 times, and it's hitting for 111k crits. You are kidding me. Next power we have is, I think we have to go for Mask of the Withering, which means when we use Door of Shadows, if we teleport through a person, we make him take 40% more damage. This combined, or 20%. This combined together, however, with our Vendetta, which we get for free, every time we have a Adrenaline Rush rolling, makes enemies take, I would say, 40% added together, unless it's multiplicative, and then I don't think that's how it works. Whoa, he just got smacked for so much though. Oh my goodness. Inflict 27% additional physical damage. Oh my god, that crashed us so much. Thank goodness I had cheat death. That was so much damage. Oh, these guys actually hurt. Yeah, these guys are starting to hurt. What is this debuff here? Maximum health increase, haste reduced. This guy's still slap even without any kind of haste necessary. This is a lot of damage. Oh, I didn't realize this would be that much. We just got both slapped so hard. Yeah, the final boss, if he has any kind of big slap attack, I think we're gonna be in trouble. And I guess we're gonna go for a Vial, which has no cooldown now, which is cool. Even more crit damage on Unceasing Chain, and well, we never even got to use the Ravenous Animal Cells. So I guess at this point all we can do is throw it at him. Do you know that you can throw the Ravenous Animal Cell to get his purse for a bunch of Phantasma? But it also means that there's a high chance that you won't see that guy again if you need a vendor. Alright, this is the build, this is the play, and this is all we were able to make out of it, so I guess we just have to run with it. And buff is doing 200k DPS. Okay. Okay, dude. Alrighty then. Well, we did it with buff doing for our longest time. Oh my goodness, Corruption Antenna just benefits him so much. It's just all that intellect, huh? That is crazy. He even has frost damage where he's just chipping away 451,000 health out of a boss. Only one hit. Imagine if that had multiple hits. And that's, I guess, the Torghast run. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I believe we got the toy now, right? Somewhere in the toy box. I guess that's it. I guess that's it for the run. That was insane. I don't think it's even worth really looking at my build here. I'd rather just look at the priest's build. It was nuts. The amount of damage he's able to do as a healer. So imagine doing Torghast solo. You would just have the easiest breeze getting through layer 8. And here I am as a rogue. This is the best DPS I could do. And actually trying, the only ability I messed up is Doorway of Shadows for the debuff, where the enemy takes more damage. But the rest of it was me actually trying, which is kind of nuts. I really wish I got lucky and maybe had some kind of a crazy build, because I've had some decent builds before, but this was nuts. Anyway guys, thank you so much for checking out this build. I kind of want to go again to see if I might be able to get something cool on Rogue. But yeah, thank you all so much for checking out this video. I really do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in another one.